How you guys doing? Josh here with Ohio Fish Rescue. Now in the last video, those of you who waited for the post-ending scene, you guys would have noticed that this tank was almost a third of the way full. Well, we went ahead, switched around the gravel, got it all dirty. We are now draining this one back out while we are filling this tank here. So while this tank fills and we test it, the other tank was already tested overnight, no leaks. So we are filling this one as we speak. Alright, so while this tank is being full, we got some boxes in the mail. Obviously you can see on the side they are lights. Like these guys here, they say Beamsworth right on the box. So these lights were actually donated by one of our friends named Rob Walton. He came over and visited the rescue, and he wanted to donate these lights. In each box there are 5 of them. And there's 5 for each tank. So you're going to have 5 on that tank and 5 on this tank. If you want, you can go ahead and tell them the story on how these lights came to be.
Okay. I was in there working, and all of a sudden I get a phone call. And, I got a guy in there, and it was funny because he's like, I see you guys doing all this work, and I wish I could help. And he come out and said, he goes, I'm just too lazy. I live right by you. I start laughing. I'm like, it's okay, we don't expect anybody to come out and help. It's awesome, it's okay. And I was like, just the fact that you feel bad for not coming and helping, that's just, that's great. You feel bad, you're good people. And he goes, no, I want to do something to help. And I'm like, well, what's that? He goes, I want to buy all the lights for one of the Bellagio tanks, your cichlid tank. And I'm like, oh, buddy, that's going to be, a fortune. He goes, well, I've already got them picked out, and they were 6-foot Beamworks, high-intensity LED lights. But the problem was there was only one in stock on Amazon. So he moved down to the 4-footers, and he bought 5 for each one. 5 4-foot LED lights is 20 foot long. And, I thanked him, and I was like, man, it's way too much. That's like 300 some bucks. And he's like, don't worry about it, and blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, he gets off the phone. I'm out here, I'm telling Josh, dude, you won't believe what just happened. I get a phone call back from him. He goes, you know what, buddy, I still feel bad. I'm going to have to buy the lights for the other tank, too. I want them all matched in that whole wall. So now this poor man spent $600 for these lights and had them shipped straight to us. Amazing. I mean, just amazing. And then he showed up here yesterday. So, great guy. Thank you so much for helping out the rescue like this. I'm excited, like a kid in the candy store, just setting these up on the tanks now. So we're going to get working on putting these together, getting the cords ran, hooking them up on top, and seeing what they're going to look like, all matching all the way down this 40-foot length. Thank you.
All right, so let's look at this. We are over halfway full in this tank. It is looking great. The 3 bulkheads in the bottom, there is no leaks on them whatsoever. However, on this far left overflow, there is a leak in the overflow box, so it's getting through. And I went ahead and capped it with 3 different bulkheads. So I actually have to run up to Home Depot now and grab some piping and whatnot to be able to finish these off and have valves on here so they stop leaking. But yeah, we've got the tank a little over halfway full, probably about 2/3 or so, maybe a little bit under. But yeah, we've got that one. This one's draining back out. So here we have the lights on this original one. You guys can see that. But we were just talking about the new lighting, which is right on this tank. Now I can show you guys. Bam. Now you guys can see how lit up this tank is. Let me go ahead and shut this door. There we go. This is going to look beautiful. You can see we've got the 5 lights on it all the way across. That last one I have turned because I'm looking down in the overflow box. But you can see just the color on these corals. Just beautiful. Even better, like I told you, when they're underwater, they're even better. And you can see the shimmers on the rocks from the LED lights. That is absolutely beautiful. which we will do that with all 5 lights, so you'll have a shimmering effect all the way down the whole bottom of the tank. But you can see how bright the white gravel actually makes this, along with the white background, and then these corals just pop. Now, for all of you that were saying, oh, the fish are going to damage themselves, blah, 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 this and that, well, I'd like to disagree with you all. Now, here is the reason. These are new technology. These are actually soft corals. They can actually bend. Those can bend. These can bend. The only thing solid is this base rock, and they have corals attached to it all the way around that are all soft. And now, the stock that we are putting in it, they are scaled fish, and, you know, they can, you know, move around these things. They're not going to have a 3-foot fish in here banging into the corals. It's going to be small fish that are going to know the tank and maneuver through it. So have a little faith, and things will come to light, guys. But you can see we've got the lights on this tank. Now we are working on the lights for the second tank. These will be matching, so stay tuned. Alrighty, so working past all the boring and tedious work, this tank is about 10 inches from the top. We went ahead and hooked up an already cycled FX5 onto it to keep the water from going stagnant and getting a little bit hazy or having a bacteria bloom. Got the lights on this one. It'll take a while to get clear because there is still some sediment from the rocks and dirt on the corals and all that good stuff. But I am working on the piping now while this tank is filling. So of course we have the FX5 on this one as well, and then we have the sump pump pumping up and filling the tank from the pond. So it already has some, you know, beneficial bacteria in the water, but there is nothing as far as filter media that this is rolling through. I am going to do this as a direct flow through the tank back to our big sump, basically. So we are going to have a 10,000 gallon per hour pump divvied up between the 2 tanks. So each tank is going to have 5,000 gallons per hour. That should be plenty enough. And then each tank will have its own mechanical with a little bit of biological plus the bubble wall, of course. So yeah, we are plugging along here. I will come back to you guys once we have this tank full, maybe even the lights on it, and I am going to continue to work on the plumbing. I have this side pretty much plumbed in. I had to just go and buy a bunch of parts from Home Depot. So I got them here now, and I will continue to work on this for you guys. But this is coming together. Alright, so we had to go ahead and stop this pump here because we are running out of water in the 58,000 pond. We don't want our pumps to run dry, so we are letting that fill. And as we speak, we are doing something amazing right now. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there is something in this water, and I don't know what, but I don't know. You ready over there, Ryan? Oh, he's catching fish already. So we are adding all of the African cichlids that came in previously that we have not put through quarantine yet, because we are going to go ahead and put them in here as the testers, and we're going to go ahead and quarantine them in this water. So we're going to go ahead and treat it just to make sure there was no... Nice one going in. Yes, that's the OB peacock. He's gorgeous. He's orange and blue with the white blaze.
What is that one, John?
I have no idea. If any of you know what kind of OB peacock that is, let me know in the comments. So we are putting fish in these tanks. We will join the other 350-gallon cichlid tank after the 3 days of our treatment.
We got the bearded fish keeper catching our fish for us.
Yeah, so right there we have Ryan, the bearded fish keeper from YouTube. He came over to help out, and he is catching fish for us. They went in here and they instantly found their hiding spots. There is a cave under there. Oh, look at them. They're just peeping in and out. There's a bunch of them in there. That's funny. Start exploring, guys. You've got caves over here. You've got caves underneath this one in the back. You've got somewhere on the back side of this one. You've got caves over here. You got to get a little adventurous and explore your new tank. They just went up from a 75-gallon up to probably, this is a little over halfway full, maybe a little less than 3/4. So I'd say it's probably about 1,200 gallons right now. That is a big upgrade. So there we have it. There goes some Get Your Labs. Now, what else are we putting in here? We've got this colorful Mbuna coming at you, which I don't even know what this is. So if you guys can tell me what this is in the comments too. I kind of like this guy. He just has a little bit of a deformed tail, but nonetheless, he gets some love around here. He is all blue body with orange fins. You can see his little clipped tail fin there. That is an old injury that's grown over, but very exciting. Now, these guys will survive, no problem. The FX5 is on here for only a little bit of bio load. Alrighty, we went ahead and said screw it, let's give the viewers what they want. We started catching all the cichlids out of the 350 gallon. So we are going to go ahead and put them all in here today. And by the time I have to worry, the filtration will be set up. They will be treated for 3 days. Because we've already had these guys here for, I'd say, a couple weeks now. And they don't really seem to have sickness, but I treat them for 3 days before they actually go into the system. So we're just going to treat them for the 3 days in the Bellagio tanks. But you can see they are already starting to cruise the tank. Look at this guy right here. Beautiful. Alright, so this is what we're dealing with out here. We took out all the decorations that haven't been moved in so long. There's a bunch of debris stirred up. We are catching these cichlids out of here. And of course, here's more decorations. We are going to catch all these red jewels as well. So here we have it. Let's get back to it. We are using two nets and one runner, running them to the tank. So once these guys are back in there, I will show you guys what they look like in the new tank. Alright everyone, so here we have Bellagio tank number 1. There is a red Severman here along with 2 larger clown loaches, which of course you know them. They went in here and hid, but they came out of some of the quarantine tanks. So them 3 are going to live in here for now. Might possibly throw an eel in there, but what you've all been dying to see, bam, we're still catching some of the cichlids. These are not all of them, but this is a healthy community, or a start to a healthy community. They are all just loving life. They've got miles and miles to swim compared to their last tanks. This is just pure amazing. Look at these guys. And they said this wouldn't look good. I think they look fantastic. Especially with these lights. And then once I get the main, oh, look at the little Synodontis cat. We've got a bunch of them in there. You see that guy there? There's a big one over here. There we go. So they are a cleanup crew, and they are pretty big. They're about, 11 inches or so, the biggest one. Look at this big Venustus. Pretty boy. What else? Oh, look at this guy. Beautiful. I am loving this, guys. Well, I think that is enough for today. I'm going to go ahead and catch the last of these few stragglers. And I'm going to continue to work on plumbing. So join us in Chapter 4 to see these guys filled up the rest of the way. Once my my pond gets filled back up. It is filling up now. So I don't want to drag this out too long. But
hey, Slow Joe. There's fish in the tank.
Yes, Slow Joe. Look at that. There's actually fish in both of them. So we got that one a little fuller than this one, but I'm working on the plumbing on that one so I can fill it all the way up. And I actually just got the other box of bulkheads in today so I can finish the overflows and get them on the system. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's amazing video. If you guys want to see more crazy adventures with the Ohio Fish Rescue, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, stay fishy, my friend.